The publishing industry has changed dramatically in the internet age. Today's guest, Brittany Bacinski, can help us understand why. Brittany, welcome to Open Source.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And look, we're friends in real life, but your story is really, really interesting. But I want to start right at the beginning in the world of publishing. What is the current state of publishing?
Yeah, I think the current state of publishing is very dynamic and very unlimited. I think we have a lot more options than we used to maybe 5 or 10 years ago, especially with the rise of self-publishing. You are seeing authors like Colleen Hoover really kind of take the world and Hollywood by storm from, becoming self-made and self self-publishing is really, changing the game for just authors in general. Like I kind of alluded to, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, traditional publishing was like the only way. But now we have so many other options. There's hybrid publishing, there's traditional, and then there's self-publishing. So
Right. Okay.
it's nice to see that.
And you got into self-publishing, right? Like, how did you get started?
Right. Um, Honestly, impatience, I would say. um, and I really like the creative control with self-publishing. Being an indie author, again, like it used to come with it used to be more taboo. It used to kind of come with a little bit of you know, like a tainted undertone. Like if you
Mm.
were an indie author 5 or 10 years ago, no one really read your work. But now you can really have that power to yourself. And so I like the power that you can hold with indie publishing and yeah, I like the creative control and I like that I don't have to wait for anyone to tell me what to do. I can kind of just create my own IP and make it the way that I want and have it on the timeline that I want. And so traditional publishing, you're looking at, at least 2 years from start to finish. And that, depending on the nature of the story, can really kind of affect the impact of the story.
Right. And okay, so what's the reason for this paradigm shift? Like, is it basically the internet age? Is it like social media?
Yeah, I would say now we have more creative power and creative control because we're able to build our own brands and we're able to market better, especially online. 5, 10 years ago, you needed the gatekeepers to kind of hand select you, to offer their dollars, to offer their resources, their marketers. But now we live in the time where you can use these free tools, social media, TikTok, Instagram, and become your own marketing powerhouse and, branding expert. And I think the really successful indie authors are using these tools to their benefit and they're winning as a result.
And what sort of impact have you been able to make?
Oh, that's a great question. I think the impact that I've made so far is going to be different than the impact that I'm going to be making in the future. Um, I think there's a few things that I'm doing that are impactful. I think I'm not taking no for an answer. So, for example, I'm not traditionally published. I'm an indie author. I am self-published, so self-made 100%. And again, like 5 or 10 years ago, that would have been like a really big deal, like a deal breaker for a lot of people, and no one would really care too much. But now it's like, I've had many of my TikToks go massively viral with millions and millions of reviews, which led to, sales, making bestsellers lists. I made the bestsellers list, I think, over 3 different times just from social media.
Wow.
And I didn't have any agent. I didn't have, any traditional publisher kind of telling me what to do or when I could, tease my book or how I could market it. And so I think the impact there is kind of trailblazing the way for other aspiring authors and creators that you don't have to wait for someone to say yes to your art. You say yes to your art. When you say yes to your art, everyone else is going to kind of follow along too if you believe in it and go all the way with something, you'll be rewarded for that. So I think that's impact one. I think impact number two would be giving people the permission to create meaningful, emotionally charged art. I think this is my
You
opinion.
know
I
what,
think,
Brittany, like,
But
You're so fascinating and very inspiring. And I want to get because I know that you're now starting to work in Hollywood, and let's do that after the break. I'm here with Brittany Bacinski.